Yeah, not a lot of words here. Very, very disappointing. Not even sure what to say. It's probably one of the more embarrassing, not one of the most embarrassing performances I can recall in my days as a Cane. Just didn't do anything right. We didn't do anything right, and it seemed like they did everything right. So it's one of those, not one of those deals because you can't even say that. Just very poor performance, very disappointing. Having said that, we better figure out a way to get it going because we got a long season ahead of us, and we had been playing well up until this point, but we certainly didn't do that this weekend.
All right, Gino, our first question for you comes from Christopher Stock of Inside the U. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, Gino, you touched on Friday night. If it was the one game, it'd be not fine isn't the right word, but it continued. And one of the things you questioned was, just mental toughness to bounce back, and obviously that just didn't happen. Are you concerned, maybe big picture wise?
I mean, to be honest with you, Chris, you're always concerned as a coach. There's never a day it doesn't go by I'm not concerned. If you're saying after this weekend, am I more concerned? Yeah, no doubt. Trying to figure out some consistency. We felt good about the little streak we had going with the lineup that we had, and but certainly this, kind of puts a wrench in it a little bit. But some teams again, they match up. Can happen this way where teams just match up very well against another team, and I'm hoping that's the case with FSU. I mean, in some phases, I think it is, but you can't use that as an excuse in all the phases. There's just no excuse for some of these things. So, yes, concerned, absolutely, very concerned. Of course, probably number one thing would be about the mental status of the team. Right now, at this very moment, they all should be down. There's not one person that should be up. And I have no problem with everybody being down a little bit right now because they should be. They should be embarrassed and ashamed. And but they have to be able to, come Tuesday, we got to make sure that we're ready to play again because baseball is something where you got to bounce back and be ready to go. So that's something that we will certainly have a day, rest of this day and tomorrow to get it out of their system and then get ready for at FAU. But yeah, it's concerning, no doubt.
All right, Gino, we're going to go to Gabriel Garcia of Lemon City Live. Gabriel, go ahead.
Hey Gino, obviously it was a really rough weekend for you guys. It was like a really anticipated series against FSU. It's an in-state rival, and you seemingly hit the wall here. Is there any sense of urgency in the locker room after this sweep?
Urgency. I mean, the sense right now in the locker room, it's very, very quiet. There's not a lot of noise in the locker room as it should be. So, yeah, urgency. I mean, I don't know. We've got a long way to go. How many games have we played? 15, 16? Are we a third of the season in, basically, if I had to guess here? So, um, we knew this coming in, not the sweep. We knew that I knew this. This is my feeling, anyways, when they changed the schedule and cut 6 games and added 6 ACC games. I knew it was going to be a battle in terms of strength of schedule, the competition, the ACC's deep, all those different things. But for me, the most important thing is where's our team at? Where's the Miami baseball team at? That's my responsibility. Right now, we're not in a good place. We were coming into the series. Never in my wildest dreams did I see this happening. I knew we had some matchup difficulties with some of their lefties and all of our lefties in the lineup, but this was beyond that. So I hate saying it's a terrible thing for a coach to say, but I don't really have an answer for what the heck just happened, other than I know we need to play a lot better in all phases. And I could go through the specifics and spend all kinds of time on here. I won't do that, but I did touch on them with some of the players of what I took away from the weekend and we just did a very poor job of. But I'm sure you can figure it out too for yourselves. Urgency. Every game's urgent to me. They all matter because they're all big games. It's going to be a battle. Nobody is going to go 40-10 in our conference. I can tell you that ain't going to happen. It's 50 games. It's going to be a battle with everybody. And of course we got a midweek game coming up. We have played well in our 2 midweek games. So hopefully we can get it back on track with that on the road. And then of course this weekend in Virginia.
All right, Gino, we have time for 2 more. We're going to go to David Ferones of the Sun Sentinel. David, go ahead.
Yeah, Gino, I was wondering what you told that quiet clubhouse, as you mentioned after this game. And then you mentioned how guys will have today and maybe tomorrow to kind of get over this one, feel angry, feel upset about it. What do you plan to tell the team to pick them back up beyond that?
Well, first of all, they are 18, 19, 20-year-olds, so they'll probably get over a lot quicker than I will. I won't sleep very well for the next few nights, but I'm sure they'll be okay. But they're down. I mean, they should be down. What I told them just in general was, from the pitching side, I just felt like the first two nights we did, I'll speak for today. Actually, today we actually got ahead. Prior to this, we did not get ahead of their hitters. We were behind. Like last night, we were behind everybody. 2-0, 3-1, 3-2, 1-0. We fell behind all their hitters, and they took advantage of it. Today, actually, we got ahead. Fetterman got ahead of a lot of guys. We had guys 0-2, 1-2, and we couldn't put guys away. So what I said was I felt like we need to do a better job of getting ahead of hitters. When we do get ahead of hitters like we did today, we need to do a better job of putting them away. We could not put them away. Of course, we're leaving pitches up 0-2, 1-2. You should not give a hitter a chance to get to the ball. If he's going to expand the zone to go get the ball, then you need to expand it more as a pitcher, period. And, from a hitting standpoint, I thought we did a very poor job of hitting off-speed pitches, especially today. The scouting report was he was more of an off-speed guy. We pulled him up after the first inning. I think it was when I saw our second inning, when I saw a lot of our guys way out in front, guys throwing 88, 89 miles an hour, which is not hard these days. And we're cheating and flying open and out in front and chasing pitches that are balls right out of the hand, off-speed pitches, and told them we got to do a better job of adjusting to that. And, although we only made one error tonight, we played horrible defense all weekend. We were out of the games at every game, and there was just no sign of us ever coming back, other than maybe a small glimpse last night, which I told them. I said, I've never seen anything like that in a 3-game series where we only had maybe 1 or 2 innings where we put any pressure on them. So again, it's one of those things. We got to learn from our mistakes, but we do have to put this thing behind us, because this series here could really mess you up, and I'm not going to let that happen. I mean, right? You're talking, it's fresh. The wound is very fresh right now, so it's there. But come Tuesday, that thing's got to be way behind us, and we got to get back to playing baseball. This is the most crazy game, in my opinion, in all of sports, and it can really screw your mind up if you let it. So it's got to be my job to make sure it doesn't happen.
All right, Gino, our last question for you comes from Christopher Stock of Inside the U. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, just a few quick things. I guess just you kind of touched on it there, but just your impression of Fetterman today, and then a couple housekeeping things. Jake's still going Tuesday, and then also if you could give an update on Jared Thomas being scratched, what happened there?
Jake is still going Tuesday. Jared Thomas tweaked his back in infield outfield when they were rolling balls, and he was coming to the field like a bunt and throw to first. He bent over. And all I know is he tweaked it, I guess is a good way of saying it, and enough to where he couldn't go. And I just asked him after the game, because I hadn't talked to him during the game. I knew he was a scratch, but I said, "How you feeling?" And he said, he feels it still a little bit. So we'll just see how he goes. He'll get treatment tomorrow, and of course Tuesday, and see where he's at Tuesday. But that's what happened to him, was in infield outfield. In regards to Fetterman, I think I said it. I mean, he did get ahead of hitters. But when he got ahead, again, 0-2s, and they hit a home run 0-2. They hit another 0-2, 1-2 pitch he left up. They hit a line drive to left field. Just couldn't put guys away. And he needs to do a better job of expanding down, because the pitches that we were throwing, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, some were off speed, and they needed to be down and away, or down. And, of course, some fastballs, too. Maybe if he was going off the plate, he needs to expand more off the plate. He can't let them get their hands to the ball and hook the ball and get a base hit. Again, when you're in that count, if they're going to chase that far out, then you need to expand more and more, whether it's away or down. So to me, that's kind of what I saw with Fed. And again, he's given up, extra base hits and home runs. And I'll have to look at the video, but the balls, I just know this 0-2, 1-2 guys should not be getting to the balls like they are getting it, and driving them like they are. That should not happen.